All right. So that first song, in case you were wondering, if you liked it, it's called Funky Resurgence by Ulysses Crockett. This song right here, this intro song, where I explain today's theme, today's episode, is by El Michels Affair. It's a cover of Wu-Tang Clan's Verbal Intercourse. All right, so why El Michels Affair? And what does that have to do with coffee? What does any of this have to do with anything? So today's music is all going to come from one record label, and that record label is called Big Crown. What's interesting about Big Crown is that Big Crown Records is part of this kind of like retro soul revival, retro R&B revival. And what I mean by that is if you've heard stuff from, let me see, like some of Adele's records, some of, especially like Amy Winehouse's records, especially her early stuff, a lot of that was recorded on analog gear, and a lot of that was the backing bands of that. All those people knew each other when it comes to that. So a lot of these guys have played with each other. So if you know about bands like the Daptones, they played on Amy Winehouse's record. They made their own record label. So from that came Leon Michels, a.k.a. he's the head guy of El Michels Affair, along with these other band members. They've played in other bands such as the Budos Band, Menahan Street Band. If you don't know Menahan Street Band, you probably know Jay-Z's sampling of them for Rock Boys. So out of the ashes of all that comes this label called Big Crown Records, and it was Leon Michels of El Michels Affair and DJ and record collector Danny Apocalypse, and well-known DJ, well-known record collector, 20,000 records plus, like just knows all the rare gems. And they started their own, retro soul record label. I feel like it's a little bit of a disservice calling it that, but they started their own retro soul record label called Big Crown Records. So I'll be putting links in the chat. What does that have to do with coffee? Well, last time I featured a coffee, we didn't get into tasting it, but I'm going to do a tasting today of it, and that is this Turntable Lab Blend 1, and it's made for records. So why am I talking about that? Well, getting exposed to record labels like Big Crown came from me going to places like Turntable Lab, which, that exposed me to all these cool record labels and everything. And my bad, I'm letting the song end. I gotta talk quicker. But Turntable Lab, I've been going there since I was about 15, 16 years old. I'm going to show my age. I'm 34 now. So that just shows you how long I've been shopping at Turntable Lab. But Turntable Lab is a store, company that really sells awesome gear for if you're an audiophile, if you're a music producer, if you're a DJ, if you're any of those things, or if you just love music. And it's all sold by fellow DJs, fellow producers, fellow audiophiles. So I got exposed to really cool record labels like Truth and Soul, which was Leon Michels' former label. Things like Daptone Records, things like Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, rest in peace Sharon Jones. I got exposed to all that through Turntable Lab. So this is a little bit of a personal episode for me. It's not going to be me doing crazy stuff. I'm still going to mix, but it's going to be more me just nerding out. So this is, I'm treating this as if you came into this living room you're seeing in the background, and I wanted to show you, hey, here's just some cool music like you should listen to. I'm going to let some songs ride out. I'm going to mix some songs. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully this exposes you to some really cool music. What's really crazy is all these songs sound like they're from the 60s and 70s, but a lot of them were recorded today. And that's the tie-in. So I got exposed to a cool label like Big Crown from Turntable Lab. Turntable Lab now makes a coffee that is for listening to records. And this is a record label that presses 45s. So that's what we're doing today. Turntable Lab coffee tasting and Big Crown Records. So that's going to be today's episode. And this is Double Shot Sunday. Let's get into